Welcome back, Flare community. I hope everyone's well and having a great start to the week. Apologies for last week. We did have electrical power issues, which obviously prevented me from streaming, but we are back in full force. Great to see so many people in the chat, all the regulars, and even some new faces as well. So yeah, first, I just want to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers. We have certainly been growing. We're currently sitting on 59.3 thousand subscribers. And obviously, once we've reached that 60,000 subscriber milestone, there will be an NFT airdrop for all the OG NFT holders. And obviously some, as we do in tradition here on the Flare community channel, there will also be some competitions on Twitter and for members as well. So stay tuned for that. We're going to kick things off here on Flare metrics in the usual style, and we're going to check out the top performing signal providers for the epochs so far. So obviously epochs run from Saturday to Saturday, so this is just the initial rewards just for a couple of days, but it gives a good idea of the trajectory for the rest of the week. Switching things up here, we have Flare Oracle topping the charts. I believe S-Toads have been top for maybe the past 4 or maybe 5 epochs. So great to see this competition, and you can see it's very fierce at the top, especially between second and third place here. Third place going to Evolve FTSO. In fourth place, we have Flare Deinst, and in fifth place, O1 FTSO. This is a new one. I haven't actually seen this in the top 5 yet. So congratulations to them and their algorithm. Moving on, we have this news here from Flare, and this is mainly just a reminder. So the Flare token is the Flare token. You can disregard the Spark token. That's no longer a thing. The ticker symbol is FLR, and the native token on the Flare network is the Flare token. So it's all uniform, and it just makes sense, right? Just thought I'd slip that in there as a gentle reminder. So I did this poll actually on Twitter, and this was to, I guess, gauge the community sentiments regarding the proposal Hugo made, and it seems that the majority of people, around 80%, are in favor. I do see some people in the comments asking about when the Flare tokens are dropping, and this is basically when the observation mode actually ends, and that's a process which is ongoing at the minute, and it's the process of making the network decentralized. So here's something that it's very interesting, right? Everyone wants their tokens right now, right? We want the tokens, don't get me wrong, but to distribute them now would be a mistake, because after you've received them, first of all, you can't do anything with them. But more importantly, you will be receiving the tokens on a network which is not decentralized. That's what the observation mode is all about, making or going through the process of decentralizing the network. And we can actually look here on this website created by FTSO AU. This is the state of decentralization on the Flare network. As you can see, it's just this one big block which represents the Flare network. You can see it down here, right? And what does this mean? It means that Flare are currently running 100% of the validators. Now, obviously, this is expected because, at one point, there was one node for every network, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's Ethereum, whether that's XRP. It has to have an originating starting point, right? At the minute, the Flare network run all of the nodes. This means that they control the consensus. And soon, they're actually going to be onboarding other signal providers to start running nodes for the Flare network. And as each subsequent node is added, the decentralization of the network increases, because Flare will have less of a percentage of the total nodes on the network. Once the Flare network has less than 33% of the nodes represented by the Flare team, this is what they're going to consider sufficiently decentralized, and this is when observation mode will end. Now, I do actually recall some messages from FTSO AU or some tweets saying that the process of running a node or spinning up a node is not actually that tedious. There's many operators, many of these signal providers you can see down here, who have already gone through this process on the Songbird network. So they know the process. It's just a case of waiting for the software to be released, spin up a quick node, connect to the network and start verifying transactions. And hey presto, after 66% is in the 66% of the nodes are outside the scope of the Flare team, then this is when observation mode will end. So stay tuned for that. A new application just launched, currently on the Kosten testnet, which is great to see actually. I definitely welcome applications launching on Kosten first. And this is Blaze Swap from Alex. And this is basically, your bread and butter decentralized exchange. And we can have a quick look at the UI here. Everything that you can expect, you can swap, you can pool resources, and you can claim rewards. So this is yet again another great addition. I know Alex is very talented, and I think it's great to see this competition between decentralized finance applications. Speaking of DeFi, we have FLR Finance here announcing the Phygital NFT. Sorry, I get that tongue twisted a little bit. They're actually launching an FLR Drops sticker pack raffle on Kosten. So if you are looking to try out some of this functionality, it's definitely worth checking out this network. It's great for developers so they can monitor and refine any issues, but it's also great for you as a user because you get to test functionality prior to it arriving on Songbird. And the same goes from Songbird to Flare. FLR Finance, again, they introduced this raffle concept, and I think it's actually pretty good. It's something that I've not seen anywhere, not just on Songbird, but even in the broader scope of crypto in general. So I'm looking forward to this. And for those of you who may be eagle-eyed, they did drop this article. And if you scroll right to the bottom down here, you may see this. If you're interested in hearing more about our recent completed Phygital redemption system, Flare community, as myself, will be hosting our CEO, Nick, who will be giving an overview of our latest innovation in the coming days. So yes, I'm going to be interviewing, or I guess bringing Nick onto like a podcast episode, and we're going to talk all about FLR drops, these raffles. We're going to talk Supaku. We're going to talk about migrating NFTs from Ethereum to Songbird and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. It is going to occur tomorrow. It's not going to be live, but it is going to be pre-recorded and released to Patreon members first and foremost. Hoping to get it out to everyone maybe on Wednesday or potentially Friday, somewhere in that region. So stay tuned for that. Another partnership coming from Flare is this with Lena Instruments, who have introduced this crowdfunding application, or they're going to introduce it. It's a very novel idea, and it's a play on the crowdfunding aspect, which was introduced in the Flare community call, the Flare Network community call, which was live streamed on Twitter. And I did make a video about this concept back in June. I'd highly recommend watching this video. It is only, 6 or 7 minutes long. Here we go, 6.5 minutes. And just to run you through the concept really quick as a high-level overview, what would happen for you as a user and as a holder of FLR or F assets? Holding these assets gives you access to a yield, whether that's through delegation or through the reward pool or something of that sort, right? What you can do is you can lock these funds into a crowdfunding smart contract. And basically, this means that you still retain the ownership of your assets, and the yield that is generated from these assets is actually forwarded to the project. And in return, the project can actually issue you with tokens. So it's a really sustainable way for projects to, start developing, and they may not have initial funds. It's great to have an amazing idea, but if you don't have the money to get the project off the ground, this is where I think crowdfunding on Flare will be an ultimate growth catalyst. It's going to hopefully entice many talented developers to start building on the Flare network. Another partnership. It's back-to-back partnerships these days. So Flare the Flare ecosystem continues to grow, and they did welcome a new partner, that's Pawnfi Official, a liquidity portal for non-standard assets. And this is a really interesting concept as well, actually. It's going to allow you to use various forms of assets, maybe even NFTs, as a way to, I guess, earn as well. And I'll just read a couple of tweets here. Pawnfi allows holders of various types of illiquid assets to make use of them in a richer way than they normally could. NSAs can be any type of fungible and non-fungible asset that are difficult to realize, such as NFTs, liquidity provider tokens, and GameFi assets. So it's going to allow you to use these various assets. GameFi, we haven't really seen any gaming applications to be launched yet on Flare, but if we look here, they're going to allow you to pawn them, so be provided as collateral for loans. You're going to be able to lease them, or just simply sell them to the highest bidder. And I think it's great. There's some people that may be holding assets which they, let's just take an example of this GameFi, right? Let's say you worked very hard at a game and you managed to acquire this amazing sword, right? And let's say someone else wants to lease that off you. That's going to be possible here, where you can lease out your NFT for a particular price. Someone can borrow the sword and kill the boss and then return it to you safely. You get paid, they defeat the boss, everyone's a winner, right? So that's very interesting. This is a quick look at their interface. They are going to be a multi-chain, product, and you can see some of the partners here, or the intended networks that they intend to connect with. Flare obviously being up there too, and who knows, they may actually take part in some of the novel protocols being built on Flare, maybe via the State Connector and Layer Cake to connect all of this together. So that would be amazing for liquidity, and another new concept entering the Flare network. Flarium, we finally got some news about Flarium. So I remember seeing these guys coming to existence maybe a couple of weeks ago now. And they basically are a DeFi platform. In fact, we can just jump over here to this little video. I can talk you through it. So Flarium, they're going to basically be an exchange, decentralized exchange, obviously built on Songbird and Flare. And they have this little promotional video going on. Still, I think it's great. The more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. It's going to basically promote the growth and promote competition between these entities, and it's going to be great to see how it evolves. Moving on to NFTs now, Sparkles have surpassed 50 million Songbird, and this was actually back on September the 1st. I'm sure it's slightly more than that now, but that is an incredible milestone. 50 million Songbird, representing around $2.5 million. So that's pretty crazy. It's great to see the NFT space flourishing, especially with FLR drops now giving you the ability to self-mint, and also the Qt Mart platform too. If you haven't checked that out, highly recommend it. Here's something that I wanted to mention. So I'm actually giving away NFTs for anyone that joins the Patreon family. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a Patreon link in the description. It's a way to support the channel. And yes, for those who join in this month, I will be airdropping a NFT. And if you are a Patreon member, please feel free to drop me a message and let me know. I have distributed, I think, the majority of them. But if you haven't received an NFT yet, be sure to drop me a message. At the end of September, I am going to be burning all of the supply, and this is basically what the NFT looks like. It's the one of the intros that I had made, and I quite like it. It's going pretty well. It is selling for around 500 Songbird, and that basically is the cost of the Patreon. So it is what it is. More than welcome to happily join in on that. Finally, or almost finally, we do have some of the Flare Community Poker Club NFTs still available. There are 3 left. And I just wanted to remind people that if you have already bought one of these NFTs, you do get a physical deck. I feel like I've distributed most of them, very friendly with the people at the post office now. We're like on first name term basis. But yeah, if you have bought one of these and you haven't yet received a physical deck, be sure to drop me a message too. Finally, we have this here from Superbad Series. They're actually creating this game and it looks absolutely incredible. This is built in Unreal Engine 5 and you can tell the actual graphics are very granular. I don't know if this is my internet connection, but the image is not sharp at the minute, but this is really a really high quality engine, and just the level of detail is going to be incredible. And I really can't wait to see gaming come into effect. So we have Superbad Series that are building in Unreal Engine 5, and we also have the S-Toads ecosystem, Songbird City, which is something to look forward to as well. I noticed that they tagged Network in here. For those of you who may not know, S-Toads were planning to be a metaverse within Network's ecosystem, and I feel like, if I remember correctly, they've actually decided to go solo and build the whole thing basically themselves and create their own unique metaverse, and this is going to allow them to have much more freedom within the decisions being made with the metaverse. So that's going to be interesting. I'm personally looking forward to it, and yeah, I hope you guys are too. So what we're going to do now, that's basically the end of the news. All of the members are obviously welcomed up to the members stage. I'm going to be hosting this in a second down here. If you are a member of the YouTube channel and you haven't joined the Discord yet, be sure to, because you are missing out. We do have weekly competitions, and this week I have 2 quizzes for you since we obviously missed last week. So 60 XRP up for grabs, and we do also have, where are we, the quiz league. This ends on at the end of the month. So there's going to be prizes here at the end of the month for the people who top the charts. 250 XRP going to first place, 100 XRP going to second place, and third place is going to get 50 XRP. Currently topping the charts, we have Freaking Awesome, second place Doc Bob D, and third place Jimmy Thing. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'll hope to see you guys in the member stage in a couple of minutes. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have the best week possible, and yeah, until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.